I'm Crystal Oculee, the Chief Financial Strategist here at Confidence Wealth, and every week I try to bring a topic to you that's, what the topic of the conversation is basically in my last few meetings. And this week, the topic of 401k has come up a lot. And, this is going to be just very general and some tips on the things that you should know about when it comes to your current 401k and how you should manage it. So a lot of times people think that 401k is really managed and they feel comfortable, especially when they work, with a big company and they think it's all on the right track. The issue is that these are very big, just big plans that are put together, very cookie cutter with certain risk and target dates. That's why you see a lot of target dates that are just geared towards being able to fulfill the masses that work for the company. So they're not customized, and I want to make sure that you understand a lot are passively managed, not necessarily actively. So when you're getting a targeted fund is a combination of stocks and bonds, and it's going to be there certain percentage. The further the targeted date, the more aggressive and the more equities you will have. The closer the targeted date, the less equities and the more fixed income, which is bonds that you will have. But let's take a great example of this year alone, or I should say last year, and probably a combination of what's happening this year. A lot of times when people chose targeted dates that were shorter term, they expected that I'm going to retire in the next couple of years and my portfolio is not going to take a big hit on my 401k because the targeted fund is going to adjust and I'm going to be safe. Well, look at what happened in the bond market. The bond market went down, maybe not as much as the equity, but pretty deeper than it has ever historically, in a sense, for a very, very long time. So what everyone thought was that the fixed income will protect against what was happening on the equity side didn't really pan out. So if you were just going by the mass belief that my 401k was taken care of based on my needs and someone was watching it, that was not going to happen and you would have a big surprise and a shock. So it's important for you to understand that this is in general, and if you do have a 401k, you really need to talk to your team members here that they understand what you have and they understand the mixture, so they can help you plan better when it comes to holistically planning all of your different pieces of the puzzle. So just be also very careful. If you're listening to this and you're new to Confidence Wealth and you're friends and family of our clients, you may be looking and saying, oh, wow, I thought my 401k was really personally managed for me. And now this is something that you realize that's not the case. It means you really need to do a stress test on it to really understand, is it at par with this environment, with this economy, where you need it to be in order for you to be able to retire comfortably. You also have to remember that's the reason why there's something called in-service distribution, even if you're working, that you are able to take part or all of your money out depending on your age, and depending on how it's been vested. So example, if you're 59 and a half, pretty much you've been with the company for a long time and you have vested everything, you're going to be able to roll your 401k out into an individual IRA, and that actually can help you have much more customization that you can do, that you can really diversify in. So these are the things to think about, and these are the options exist for these types of reasons. Now, obviously, you have to know exactly where you're putting it in, so you keep the cost effectiveness into place as well. But that diversification can really make a big difference for a lot of people. Now, the other thing is if you're under, again, 59 and a half, but your company may have a rule that over 55, there is some portion, maybe your own portion of what you put in can be rolled out. So this is called in-service distribution, and you can always find out and ask that way. If you needed to, control it a little bit better and customize it a little better, you could. But more importantly is you need to understand that every asset you have is a piece of the puzzle, and don't leave any just hanging thinking it's taken care of. So again, if you haven't talk to your team about your current 401k and you haven't talked about where it is, what mixture it is, be sure to bring it up. I know that's something we bring up in our annual meetings with our clients. And again, if you're new to Confidence Wealth, you should really get a stress test. I think that would be really important to make sure that you understand that you're on the right track, or if you're on the wrong track, you can go ahead and adjust. If there are any other questions you have about your 401k, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a good one.